Hello, welcome to the Daily News Ukraine channel. Today is January 20th and our daily review of news about Ukraine. In Mariupol, temporarily captured by the Russian forces, the transfer of the Russian military from the Berdyansk direction to the Donetsk direction through the city is being observed. That's according to Petro Andriushenko, advisor to the Mariupol mayor in exile, Ukrinform reports. We are observing the transfer of troops from the Berdyansk direction to the Donetsk direction through the city. Yesterday, about 20 trucks carrying manpower and ammo crossed the city from the Berdyansk direction to the Donetsk one, Andriushenko wrote. He also noted that the invaders chose a new tactic to move the equipment in order to avoid being recorded in Mariupol. Now active movement in the Berdyansk direction is carried out at night during the curfew. In the Donetsk direction, the equipment is moved bypassing Mariupol, that's if convoys cross in from Russia. Read also, Russian forces kill 2 civilians in Donetsk region as reported, the invaders turned Mariupol and nearby villages into a military logistics hub. Russian soldiers are quartered there and a variety of military equipment has been accumulated in the area. Photo, Stringer, Anadolu Agency. Another air defense system, the fifth recorded in the Russian capital, was spotted near the village of Zarakai in the Odintsovsky district of Moscow, just 10 kilometers from the Novoogoryovo residence of Russian President Vladimir Putin. As reported by Ukrinform, this was stated by the opposition Telegram channel Sirena, which received the tip from a reader. In the 22-second video, which was shot on January 6 near the village of Zarakai in the Odintsovsky district of Moscow, an air defense vehicle can be seen. The reader explained that he discovered the system after he was disturbed by a loud sound. According to his assumption, this is Panzer S1 system. Putin's residence in Novoogoryovo is located 10 kilometers from where the system was deployed. Read also, Ukrainian military to master Patriot systems quickly. Air Force Spox on Thursday, videos and photos appeared on social networks, showing what appears to be the Panzer S1 anti-aircraft missile systems installed on the roofs of at least 2 buildings in Moscow, including the Defense Ministry HQ. Earlier this week, photos of the S-400 air defense systems at the test fields of the Timorayev Academy and near the Moose Island National Park on the outskirts of Moscow also appeared on Telegram channels. Thus, together with the installation in Zarakai, at least 5 air defense systems have already been recorded in the Russian capital. It is suggested that the strengthening of air defenses in the Russian capital may be connected with attacks on military facilities across the territory of Russia, including military airfields in Ryazan and Saratov regions. The Panzer S1 anti-aircraft system is intended, in particular, for protection against drones. The Dutch cabinet will look into supplying F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine if the Kyiv government asks for it. That's according to NL Times, Ukrinform reports. During a parliamentary debate on Thursday, Minister of Foreign Affairs Wopke Hoekstra said the cabinet would look at such a request with an open mind. In Davos, Minister Kajsa Ollongren of Defense also said that the Netherlands is willing to help pay for modern Leopard 2 tanks that other countries send to Ukraine. That is certainly something we are willing to do, she told Bloomberg. Read also, defense leaders from 50 nations to attend new meeting in Ramstein format in Germany. Pentagon Hoekstra said there are no taboos for the delivery of regular equipment. The statements come as many fear Russia will launch another major offensive in the coming months. According to Hoekstra, the Netherlands only sends items that Ukraine asks for. Kyiv currently mainly needs heavy weapons. The country has been asking for modern battle tanks for some time. Poland and Finland want to send the German Leopard 2 tanks, but they need permission from Germany. Berlin is dithering. The German government is under intense pressure to allow these tanks to go to Ukraine. The Netherlands is willing to help pay to get the tanks in Ukraine, Ollongren said in Davos, but the delivery must take place within a European or NATO coalition. We are waiting for Germany's position on this, but I am in favor of trying to find a solution and sending tanks to Ukraine, Ollongren told Bloomberg. Every time, we have shown that we are able, together, to provide Ukraine with what they need. As reported by Ukrinform, the Netherlands is considering the possibility of transferring the Patriot air defense system to Ukraine. The Netherlands is looking into sending Patriots to Ukraine, joining the US and Germany in bolstering the Ukrainian air defense arsenal, which is essential in the fight against a Russian invasion. At 13:30, a briefing is held by Dnipro Mayor Borys Filatov on the topic infrastructural, humanitarian, and energy situation in Dnipro. Organizer, Media Center Ukraine Ukrinform. Speaker, Borys Filatov, Mayor of Dnipro, online. Current issues: the consequences of a missile attack on a residential building, results of a search and rescue operation. Decisions have been made regarding people who have been left without a home. This is an offline event, Hall 1, plus online bit. Watch on Ukrinform's YouTube channel. In Donetsk region this morning, Russian invaders launched a missile attack on the city of Kramatorsk. The missile hit an area just outside a kindergarten. Avdiivka was also subjected to 2 massive artillery strikes, as reported by Ukrinform, referring to the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Pavlo Kirilenko. This morning, the Russians launched a missile strike on Kramatorsk. The missile landed outside a kindergarten. We are assessing the consequences of the attack. In the direction of Donetsk, the Kharkiv community was shelled throughout the day. A house was damaged in Kharkiv, and there were also airstrikes on Hernik and nearby villages. In the morning, Avdiivka was subjected to 2 massive artillery barrages. No one was injured, Kirilenko wrote. Read also, Putin instructs Gerasimov to seize Donbass by March. Intelligence. He noted that 1 person died in Bakhmut in the Horlivka direction, and 1 was injured in the settlement of Ivanovsk of the Bakhmut community. At night, Chasiv Yar was also affected, 4 houses and a kindergarten were damaged. Also, according to Kirilenko, the situation in the Soldar community remains tense. Rozdolivka, Fedorivka, Vasyukivka, Pereskovivka, and the outskirts of Soldar are under fire. In the Volnovaka direction, Volodar and Bohoyavlenka of the Volodar community and Vasil of the Komar community were shelled without casualties. In the Lysychansk direction, 2 people died in Drobyshev. Also, in the same community, 4 households were damaged in Zakotny, while Lyman, Torsky, and Zarikin were shelled, the head of the administration stated. As reported, Donetsk region is under constant Russian shelling. Issues with power, water, and heat supply are reported across the region. Photo, Pavlo Kirilenko, Telegram. Russia retains its naval group in the Black Sea in almost the same composition as before, so the threat of missile strikes remains high. This was reported by the head of the Joint Coordination Press Center with Operational Command South, Natalia Humeniuk, who spoke on the air of the national telephone. Ukrinform reports. The presence of a naval group indicates that the Russians are already prepared to launch a missile strike. Whether it will be a point strike of a massive one will depend on the enemy's strategy. At the same time, she noted that the military noticed certain rotations of Navy crews. This is due to the storm. But the missile carriers remain in place. Among the carriers are 2 submarines. If missiles are fired by them, this will somewhat complicate the detection at the moment of the launch. Read also, Russian Navy vessels currently in the Black Sea carry 44 missiles. Spocks. Therefore, of course, tension certainly exists, and one must be vigilant and not ignore the alerts, Humeniuk said. As reported, 11 warships were in the Black Sea yesterday. Among them are 6 missile carriers, including 2 submarines. The total volley of caliber missiles can be up to 40. On January 20, at 12 o'clock Kiev time, we are live-streaming the session of the World Economic Forum in Davos. Organizer, Media Center Ukraine Ukrinform. Speaker, Maria Mezhentseva, People's Deputy of Ukraine, head of the permanent delegation of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, to PACE, online. Key topic, decision of the European Parliament regarding the International Tribunal. This is an offline, Hall 1, event plus online inclusion. Watch on Ukrinform's YouTube channel. On January 19, 2023, 5 civilians were killed and 6 injured in Russian attacks on the territory of Ukraine. The relevant statement was made by Deputy Head of the Office of the President of Ukraine Kirill Tymoshenko on Telegram, and Ukrinform correspondent reports. According to the data from regional military administrations, 4 civilians were killed and 3 injured in the Donetsk region, 1 killed and 3 injured in the Kherson region. A reminder that, on January 19, 2023, Russian troops attacked 7 regions of Ukraine. Casualties among civilians were reported. 1 police officer has been killed and 4 injured in the Kherson region. The relevant statement was made by head of the National Police of Ukraine in the Mykolaiv region Serhiy Shaykhet on Telegram, and Ukrinform correspondent reports. On January 19, 2023, when shelling the Boryslav district's deoccupied areas, the occupiers struck a car of Mykolaiv Police Special Forces from the Tavr Battalion with cannon artillery. Yuri Kaczynski died at the scene. 4 of his colleagues received numerous shrapnel injuries, Shaykhet wrote, adding that doctors are now fighting for the life of one of them. Yuri Kaczynski was 29 years old. His law enforcement career started in 2014. 4 years later, he was already defending his native land as part of the Special Police Company in eastern Ukraine. The European Union and the United States have reaffirmed their joint resolve to continue providing support to Ukraine in its struggle against Russian armed aggression. The relevant statement was made by EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Josep Borrell on Twitter, and Ukrinform correspondent reports. Call with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken reaffirmed our joint resolve to continue providing meaningful support to Ukraine, including on the military side, Borrell wrote. In his words, the parties also discussed Iran, Western Balkans, and China. Transatlantic coordination and unity stronger than ever. We are committed to strengthen it further, Borrell added. A reminder that another session of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at Ramstein Air Base will take place on Friday, January 20, 2023. On the eve of the meeting, on January 19, 2023, the United Kingdom and 8 EU countries declared a new initiative, the Tallinn Pledge, which is intended to speed up the delivery of tanks, armored personnel carriers, heavy artillery, air defense systems, ammunition and other military equipment to Ukraine, as well as expand its range with advanced systems. This will help Ukraine not only to successfully resist Russian armed aggression, but also to push enemy troops out of its territory. Today we were talking about those news. Russia transferring more manpower, equipment through Mariupol. Russian media show video of air defense system deployed near Putin's residence. Netherlands mulls F-16 fighter jets for Ukraine. Briefing by Dnipro Mayor Borys Filatov. Missile lands outside nursery as Russians strike Kramatorsk again. Threat of missile strikes from Black Sea remains high, Command South. Live broadcast from World Economic Forum in Davos. 5 killed, 6 injured in Russian attacks on Ukraine over past day. Police car comes under enemy fire in Kherson region, 1 killed, 4 injured. EU, USA reaffirm joint resolve to continue providing support to Ukraine, Borrell.